Todd, we're going to transition now a little bit. All right. This is more what we do, um, helping people out. Again, it's that time of the year. It's the confusing year. It's AEP. This is where you're getting all those letters, the phone calls. You're getting the what the heck's and the what is this. Um, Quickly let folks know what they can do when they get those letters. What do they mean? What is AEP all about? And how the heck can they stop the phone calls?
Well, I tell you what, I do feel for people this time of year. We talk to people that we serve, and they literally 30 to 40 calls a day. That's just unbelievable, it's a lot. It really is a son of a gun. We can help them get some of those cut down if they need us to when they give us a call, or go to our website. Uh, but yes, it's annual election period from October 15th to December 7th. What can they do then? They can make changes to their drug plan, which is a really good idea because your your supplements, which I'll get into more in a second, are standardized. Your Medicare Advantages can change a little bit, but your drug plan can change night and day. The cost can go up. They can add drugs. They can drop drugs. They can raise the tiers on drugs. They can lower the tiers. It's really a good idea to give us a call in usually less than 10 minutes. We can tell somebody, hey, you could save a bunch more here. You could save a bunch more there.
So that's one of the services that we provide, which is excellent. What about when you have somebody say it they're 66, 67, 68 years old and they're still working and they look at their group insurance versus going on Medicare? What advice can you help with that? And what advice do you have for folks?
That's a great question, Jay. As you know, I've done this 31 years, so I've been doing it a long time. Back, oh gosh, the first 20 of those for sure, if not 25 years, uh, we wouldn't even have to ask where they retired from. If we just got to their home and they said, or they called us, whatever, and they said, oh, I have group insurance, we would just thank them for their time, see how they were doing on like their final expenses or something like that, and say, tell them they're better off where they were. That's changed dramatically for various reasons. But now, about probably, at least in my personal experience, I bet 75% of the time people are better off on Medicare and a Medicare plan, an individual Medicare plan, than they are in their group insurance, believe it or not, once they're retired.
Why is that? What can Medicare give them that their group insurance does not?
A lot of the group insurance, the big one is cost. The cost has gone up so dramatically for people on their group insurance. Also, the deductibles go, especially a lot of them now have the high deductible plans. They can eliminate in cases they can eliminate co-payments. There's plans out there that have a small, roughly $225 deductible once a year, and then after that, absolutely nothing else comes out of their pocket for doctor and hospital. Versus, most of their group insurance, they've got to hit like maybe $7, 8, $10,000 before it all gets paid. So 225 looks a whole lot better than 7,000.
Now, do they have to start the Social Security if they go on Medicare, or can they stay working and get a paycheck from their work? How's that work?
That's a nice thing too. With Social Security, you can defer that, well, technically forever. But if you're still working, you can still draw Medicare, still get Medicare. Excuse me. They just, instead of taking the premium right out of their Social Security, they just send them a bill for it, like a water bill or a light bill, and still have Medicare.
And then the Medicare, what is the bill for that in 2023?
2023, it's going to be roughly 164, down a little bit, which in my 31 years, I don't ever remember it going down. So that's pretty cool. So there's 164. Some of these Medicare Advantage plans are zero premium, believe it or not, which we can explain that. I know sometimes it sounds too good to be true, but even on a supplement end, if they say, hey, I want to go to whatever doctor I want to go to, I don't want the copays. Again, depending on their age, male, female, but you're looking at maybe $100 a month for that. So for less than $300, you've got, again, in essence, no co-payments, a very small deductible, got your drugs covered at a low co-payment. They're probably, quite honestly, paying $400 or $500 for their group insurance. Another big thing that we run into a lot is if maybe just one of the spouses is working and the other one has retired. Yet the company will charge the working person a family rate, which again might be $400 or $500. But if it's a single person, the single person's rate might literally be $50 or $75 a month. So in those situations, it makes all the sense in the world for the spouse that's not working to take a look at Medicare. Usually end up saving a couple $100 a month for noticeably better coverage.
So if someone wants to go on Medicare, is it really easy to do? Can they just pick up the phone and dial, or is there any good better options, or how do you get on Medicare?
In theory, yes, you can pick up the phone and dial. If you like to press 1 and 2, and if you like to wait for English, and if you like all that kind of stuff, or you can give us a call. We'll be glad to help them with that through the website, through the phone. We'll help them navigate all that. We obviously don't work for Social Security, but we've done this for so long, we can certainly help them.
So we'll help them get up, sign up for their Part B, sit down, look at is Social Security wise to take out now or stay on your group, projection of Social Security, what they can get paid in the future, put plans in place. Correct? We do all that.
That's a beautiful thing that we do. Is we have Social Security experts in our office that will say, so many people just, they either take Social Security at 62 because that's the earliest they can, or when their retirement age is the max, which is 66 and a half, or whatever it's going to be, they just think they have to take it at that time, and by no means do they have to. Sometimes it makes all the sense in the world to wait till 68 or 70. It's surprising too, the people that I see now, they're drawing off of their spouse's Social Security for a couple years and then kick in their own. And those are things that most people aren't aware of. Sadly, there's not a Social Security class that's given at the library or something like that. Maybe that's something we should do, Jay. Now I think I'm on to something here, guys. But we can sit down and help people with that. Just give us a call, 402-614-9292, or on Facebook, American Senior Benefits Lincoln, and we'll schedule a time with one of our Social Security experts just to see, okay, hey, delay for a couple years, or hey, draw, and husbands off of wives has become a lot more of a common thing for Social Security. And there's a reason that makes sense a lot of times. And when you figure life expectancy now is roughly 80 for men and women, a little bit more for women, but we can be talking thousands of dollars by the time this is done by just taking 15-20 minutes with one of our experts and saying, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Again, at the end of your life, 80, 82, whatever you make it to, there's tens of thousands, sometimes more dollars in your pocket by taking that 20 minutes.
Yep, exactly. Todd Riley J. Stowe, along with Rico here on the American Senior Benefits Family Hour, get it into more in depth, moving on from working to Medicare or activating Social Security. Also, Todd, when you leave your job and you want to get on to Medicare, you got to do something with your 401k. What are options to do with your 401k?
Boy, and that's a real question in a lot of people's minds right now is, holy smokes, what do I do? Market's down 20%, bonds are down. Rarely are stocks and bonds down the same year. We're just real fortunate this year to witness both of those. And there are safe alternatives. And one thing we hear too, and we're not recommending any company, we're not, recommending this or that, and there's losses potential to everything, but there are options out there where people can put floors under what they're losing, stop the hemorrhaging, if you will, and yet when market comes back around, they'll be able to take advantage of that gain. Because a fear that I hear from people a lot, and I get it, is, well, they always say don't sell low. Unfortunately, most people buy high and sell low, and they're afraid to sell low right now, which I get. But if you can put a stop on it and still get a chunk of that gain when it comes back, then you're talking something that makes sense. So again, we have experts that will help you with that also.